Hey up, guys, welcome back to my coverage of the 2021 Oscars. Today I'm joined by a fellow Oscar and film vlogger, very special guest. So happy to have him here. We have the one and only Max Joseph, film person. How you doing, Max?
I'm wonderful. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to talk Oscars.
Oh, me too, mate. So I'm so happy that you're taking time out of your day just so we can have a chat about Oscars. Big fan of your
Of
work,
course.
and yeah, so happy to finally collaborate with you. It's a real
Yes,
pleasure. So
absolutely.
cheers, mate. So yeah, remember, guys, to subscribe to Max's channel. Also, check out all his social media links. It's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd. All those links in that video description down below. Show him some love. His content is absolutely phenomenal. I watch it religiously. So please, if you like my content, give his channel some love and follow him on all his social media links. All
Right
right.
back at you.
Oh, thank you, darling. All right, so how this video is going to work is Max and I are going to be discussing 8 of the categories for the this year's Oscars. I wish we could do all 23, but we just don't have the time. We would be here forever
Hmm.
if we did every single category. So we're going to do the big 8, or what I believe to be the big 8, which are Best
Yeah.
Actor, Best Actress, Best Supporting Actor, Best Supporting Actress, Best Adapted Screenplay, Best Original Screenplay, Best Director, and Best Picture. We'll give our thoughts on the nominees, and we'll also share who we think was snubbed in each category, and then we'll give some analysis on who we think is going to win currently, but that can often change. You know, it's still a month before the Oscars, so a lot can change. And then we'll also give our
Hmm.
personal picks on who we want to see win and who we think will win. So it's just going to be a lovely little laid back conversation with two Oscar nerds. Please remember to get involved in the comment section down below. Let us know your thoughts on the nominees this year, your predictions, anything related to the Oscars. We want to hear about it. So let your voice be heard in that comment section down below. So, my friend Max, quick question before we dive into the first category. What
Yes.
are your overall thoughts on the Oscar nominees this year? How did you feel with the selections this year?
I think they kind of nailed it,
Yeah.
actually. Um, except for Ma Rainey and One Night in Miami. That makes no sense to me. And like if I'm of the opinion, if you have the option to nominate 10 pictures, do it. Like you always do five for all the others. Like I know that you're supposed to, but like that's why it's going to 10 to honor 10 nominees. And I
Yeah.
have to think that Ma Rainey and One Night in Miami were the 9 and 10. So besides that, I think it was a really solid list overall. A lot of it made sense. There was only a few like absolute shocks, like in director and
Yeah.
supporting, which was like insane for Lakeith Stanfield. So happy, so deserving, but he was
Okay.
campaigned as lead, so that was just shocking. But everything kind of made sense. There are just a few kind of things, but nothing is like overall I'm angry about.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like this year, it was pleasantly surprised. It was nothing like the BAFTAs in terms of shock or whatnot. It's like just so many unexpected
Yeah,
things. But I
right.
was I was pretty much happy with the outcome. I also agree with the best picture. It would have been nice to have seen more films with black casts or telling black stories being represented
Yep.
because we only really got Judas and the Black Messiah, which is great. But yeah, One Night in Miami, Defy Bloods, or Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. It would have been nice to have seen any of those nominated. But I would agree that One Night in Miami and Ma Rainey seemed more likely to get in based on the Producers Guild Award nominations. So
Yep.
yeah, overall though, it's still a fantastic year for diversity as well. We've got Riz Ahmed, first Muslim man in the Best Actor category. Stephen Yeun
Yep.
as well for first Asian American nominated for Best Actor as well. Yeah, it's a really lovely mix of diversity across the acting nominations as well. So there's a lot to be
Uh,
happy about.
yeah, it's about time.
Yeah, damn right.
We're getting there.
Exactly. We're not there yet. There's still a lot of work to be done, but we it's definitely a
Yep.
step in the right direction as well. Two women in best director as well. I freaked out. It was like,
Uh,
oh, we're
so
making steps.
so good. So good.
Of course. So good. All right, my friend. So let's go on to our first category. First up, we have Best Actor, and the nominees were Riz Ahmed for Sound of Metal, Chadwick Boseman for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, Anthony Hopkins for The Father, Gary Oldman for Mank, and Stephen Yeun for Minari. What are your thoughts on this category to start off with, mate?
So this is the perfect category. No offense to Gary Oldman, except for him. Gary Oldman doesn't need to be in this lineup. It should be Delroy Lindo, and I still will never understand how he didn't get nominated anywhere. That still blows my freaking mind. Aside from Gary Oldman, this is, I think, who I would have. I'm trying to go through like who I would do. This all is really, really solid. I really like this group. Chadwick is definitely my favorite. I think he gave one of the greatest performances I've ever seen in my life. And he should be winning. He should be winning. He will win, and it's going to be amazing. But also, I would be thrilled for any of these people, again, except for Gary Oldman. No offense. That would be absolutely ridiculous.
I tend to agree. Like, I love this. I do love the selection in this category. But again, I also would have swapped out Gary Oldman for Delroy Lindo or Mads Mikkelsen, just because.
Yes. Oh my God, yes.
Gary Oldman, as much as I love him and I respect his performance in Mank and I understand why he's nominated, it would have just been so much more satisfying to see someone like Mads or Delroy get their first nomination, because it just means more to people who get their first. And Another Round was my favorite film of 2020. So the fact that Vinterberg got the director nom was such a joy. Yeah, but I thought maybe Mads Mikkelsen might surprise, but he sadly didn't. But and the same with Delroy. I agree, it's a bit of a travesty that he's not been nominated anywhere. It's kind of a weird anomaly because there's a collective agreement that he's certainly deserving. But
like Chadwick, Hopkins, and Delroy Lindo for me gave the three best performances in a leading role for an actor. Also, a shout out to Kingsley Ben-Adir, who also deserved a nomination. He's so good. Anyway, I'm very happy, except for Oldman. No offense. Love you. You're great.
I'm also inclined to agree that Chadwick Boseman is who I want to see win, and he's also the person who I think is going to win, because he's just got everything working in his favor. He's already started collecting a lot of the trophies and the Golden Globes and all that. I'm betting he's going to win at the SAGs and the BAFTAs. But he's also got, in terms of the Oscars, they love narrative, and he's certainly got a good narrative. Well, the sympathetic vote, and it is his final performance, and it's just one of those performances where you could tell, like, he knew this might be his last performance, so he just gave it everything that he had. Like, he was alive in that moment. He felt alive, and you feel alive watching him. And I want to see him acknowledged for that. It's just, it's deserving, and it'll be a nice little way to celebrate his legacy as well.
Who would be your runner-up?
I loved Anthony Hopkins in The Father.
That's my number two.
Oh my goodness, just that movie. I love The Father so much. The fact it got into Best Picture was such a delightful surprise, because I wasn't sold on it getting in.
I wasn't either, but I was very happy.
Oh, me too, babe. And it's so powerfully devastating. And I also had two grandparents who suffered from either dementia or Alzheimer's, and the way that he captured the little nuances of someone who's being forgetful, and it took me back to when my grandparents were sick and stuff, and I was just like, oh my God, he's got it, he's nailed it. And I think if it was any other year, I think probably Anthony Hopkins would win it this year. Like, it's 100%. But Chadwick just has more going for him, and I want to see Chadwick win as well. Anthony Hopkins is the oldest ever Best Actor nominee as well, at age 83, which is pretty cool.
Legend.
Yeah, he is a legend.
So one of the things I like to think about is, it's not a thing, but if Hopkins didn't have an Oscar, would he win? But it's just like something that I'd like to think about. I'm like, if this person didn't have an Oscar, would they win? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, if Gary Oldman didn't have the Oscar, would he be like the front runner? It's just like a fun thing I like to think about. Like, would they beat Chadwick? Probably not.
In some universe, in some alternate multiverse, mate, there is an outcome where that happens. It will be a role that Anthony Hopkins is certainly remembered for. Like, when they look back on his career, that will be one of the highlights for sure.
Kind of sad that he's most likely not going to win, but also Chadwick.
Yeah, exactly. The stars have aligned in a sense for Chadwick. So if Chadwick Boseman wins, he'll be the third actor in history to win a posthumous Oscar following Peter Finch for the network in 1977 and Heath Ledger for The Dark Knight in 2009.
R.I.P. all of those people.
Indeed. All legends as well.
Yep.
All right, my friend. Shall we move on to Best Actress?
Yes, let's do it.
Best Actress we have Viola Davis for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, Andra Day for United States vs. Billie Holiday, Vanessa Kirby for Pieces of a Woman, Frances McDormand for Nomadland, and Carey Mulligan for Promising Young Woman. What are your thoughts, Max, on Best Actress?
Andra Day really messed it up, didn't she? Wait, to be clear, I love this lineup. I love this lineup so much, and I don't think there is a front runner. Most people are, I think a lot of people, including myself, are gonna say Carey Mulligan.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think anyone can be confident. Like, she didn't get, I mean, the BAFTAs aren't as BAFTA-y this year because it was like a 12-person, whatever, the whole drama behind the BAFTAs. But she didn't get the BAFTA, so only Fran and Kirby did.
Yeah,
so
correct.
like they have those behind them. So like if you're looking at like stats, you probably want to go for Fran or Kirby. I don't see Vanessa Kirby winning for some reason. I just don't. She hasn't won any of the precursors really. She could win the BAFTA though. I think she could win the BAFTA. But it seems like Carey Mulligan has the momentum right now, even though she hasn't won. She got Critics' Choice, which was good. But to me, I've always said, listen, Critics' Choice is great. Critics don't vote for the Oscars. They can certainly have some influence, but they don't vote. I just always like to remind people that critics don't vote. However, Carey Mulligan should probably be winning this, unless it was. The truth is, I don't know. I don't know because I think Andra Day won Globe. Carey Mulligan won. I'm looking at my notes here on the screen. That's why I'm like looking away for everyone.
No worries.
Critics' Choice is Mulligan. I could see Kirby winning BAFTA. I could see Fran winning SAG, and I could see Davis winning the Globe. I have no clue. Like Chadwick's gonna win everything. This one, it could be a new person every single time. Where are you at?
I also agree. I love the lineup in this selection. I got it exactly right on Gold Derby in my predictions. Yep. And it's a lovely mix. And it's every one of those performances I've gushed about. Like, it really is such a great category. I really do love the Best Actress thing this year. And I saw Ma Rainey's Black Bottom first, and I was like, oh, this is Viola Davis's year. And then I saw Pieces of a Woman. I was like, oh, okay, Vanessa Kirby's got a good chance now. And then I saw Promising Young Woman. I was just like, oh my God, this is so challenging. Everyone is so amazing. And then I saw United States vs. Billie Holiday, and I thought, oh, she's great in it, but I don't see her winning it. And then she won the Globe, and I was just like,
yeah, mine.
Where are we at? Yeah, it was really exciting to read. And also Frances McDormand, such a treasure, such an Academy favorite.
So good.
Would they want to give her the third win, so she ties with Meryl Streep? Maybe. I can make an argument for everyone in this category. And I also do agree, I can see this being an outcome where every different awards body does give it to someone different. And that's exciting. I'm all for that. It just makes the race more challenging and hard to call. Do you remember last year, it seemed to be decided upon that Dern, Pitt, Phoenix, and Zellweger. Yeah, it was boring because it was so easy to call because they were just won everything. But this year, especially the female categories, it's just it's so up in the air, and I love that. It's just I'm so here for it. I do tend to side with Carey Mulligan. She's the person I want to see win. I'm a little biased because I'm British, but also it was I was just captivated from start to end. In the way that I was with Joaquin Phoenix and Joker. It's just such a texturized anti-heroine type role that you just love watching whatever it is the character's doing on screen. And I was just, oh my God, that movie. It's my favorite movie of 2021. So far, that's I want to see it showered with awards. Yeah. But then she got snubbed at the BAFTAs. And I was just like,
absolutely ridiculous. And it just didn't make sense.
It's a hometown.
Two that would really easily get nominated are Olivia Colman and Carey Mulligan. What else? Yes. Those are the two that I was like, 100%, those are two are getting nominated. Yes. All right, guess I'm going to eat my hat.
It's so true. I was just flummoxed because the Olivia Colman's track record at the BAFTAs is insane. The amount of
Right.
BAFTAs she's won, she is cherished, and the fact that
Right.
she got snubbed, it's just like I don't know anymore. Like I'm not as good as predicting this as I thought I was. Was there anyone that you wanted to see in this category that didn't make it in? Any snubs?
Sydney freaking Flanagan.
Yep.
And I can't stress that enough.
Yeah.
Except for Carey Mulligan, I would want Sydney Flanagan to win this award. Desperately. She is. Did you see that? Never.
I did. I was like the last person in the film community to watch it. Like I only watched it maybe a month ago, but I finally understood the hype.
If it wasn't Carey Mulligan, I would say Sydney Flanagan should be winning, not just nominated, winning this award.
Yeah.
So Sydney freaking Flanagan, Never Really, Sometimes Always. That movie was highly, highly, highly overlooked, and it is just insane to me. That I get it because it's not like a very Oscar-y movie, but like it's so good. It's so good.
It's so powerful. Yeah.
Sydney Flanagan, and also on top of that, Sydney Flanagan.
She's another one that's sort of just been criminally underappreciated throughout the award season. She's shown up in places, but yeah, she just hasn't been getting the traction of other contenders this year, which is a shame because it really was one of the best performances I'd seen that whole year.
Also, Yuri Han.
Yeah, very understated performance as well in Minari.
So happy with where Minari went, but my two shout outs would be Yuri Han and Sydney Flanagan.
Do you think there is a path for Andra Day to win? Because she hasn't got the SAG and she also couldn't get the BAFTA. So do you think there is a path to Andra Day winning the Oscar without having those two nominations?
Yeah, she won the Globe.
Good.
I mean, it's kind of hard to argue with that. Like, she has a BAFTA, or not a BAFTA, a Critics' Choice nom. That helps-ish. You won the Globe. That's a big deal. You have to be considered a threat. Do I think she's going to win? No. But she won the Globe. Like, that's a big freaking deal. If you win the Golden Globe, you have to be considered a front runner for the Oscars, in my opinion. But out of the 5, for some reason, she's my 5. Maybe a 4. She's either 4 or 5. Her or Kirby kind of flipped for me. There's definitely a path. She's also a Black woman.
Yeah.
I want to see diverse winners. I'm not saying vote for people who are a certain look however you want, or if you're a certain gender, you should vote for this person. If you're a certain gender, vote for that. But I do want to see diverse nominees, diverse winners, if they are deserving. And I know that Andra Day and Viola Davis, either of them winning would be a deserving win.
This is actually the first time we've had 2 African-American actresses in Best Actress since, when was it, 1972? Diana Ross, wasn't it? She was also playing Billie Holiday in Lady Sings the Blues, and Cicely Tyson in Sounder as well. So that was the last time we had 2 Black actresses in the same category, the same year, sorry, which is quite astounding, really. It's a little shocking.
And very depressing.
Yeah, depressing is probably
upsetting, but we are hopefully on our way, like we've been saying.
Yeah, also, everyone in this category, I really like the performances. I gushed over every single one. So there's no one here that I will be upset with winning. And if Andra Day did win, that's incredible and deserved. Same with Viola Davis and all the others. But if we did have we finally had the second ever Best Actress Black winner since Halle Berry, that would just be another thing to celebrate. For me, I personally want out of the 5 Carey Mulligan to win, but I'm also going to be happy with anybody winning this. It's not really a thing where I'm going to be upset. But yes, I think it could be Carey Mulligan, and I think it could be Andra Day. I think it could be a surprise. I don't know.
Yeah, I think the only 2 I'd be, quote, surprised, but not really, would be Kirby or Day, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be like Jared Leto getting a nomination for a Golden Globe shocked.
Yeah.
But I would be like, oh. It wouldn't be like, oh my God. It'd be like, Wow, they did it. Wow. Congratulations. That's so exciting.
Yeah.
Not like
Crazy.
I'm about to jump out a window. I cannot believe.
I can see a path to any one of these. And
Same.
some people have been saying Andra Day can't win because she didn't get the BAFTA or the SAG noms. And like no one has ever won Best Actress at the Oscars who didn't get at least the SAG nomination as well. But I'm like, it's pandemic year, people. If there's any year where they're not going to follow the unspoken rules that came before, it's this year. So,
and records were meant to be broken, A.
Yeah.
And B, Parasite won last year.
Exactly.
History was made.
Exactly.
In my opinion, for the Oscars, if you say this is impossible for someone, it's like, what? What a ridiculous, what? Mother, Suicide Squad won a damn Oscar.
I know.
Anything is possible. Dream big. Suicide Squad won an Oscar, and I sometimes just love that movie just because I love to just like, I'm gonna have a great night. I'm gonna have 8 popsicles and just like live my life watching Suicide Squad. If Suicide Squad can win an Oscar, no offense, Suicide Squad, anything can. You can win an Oscar. You viewer, you.
It's the poster child for like anything is possible at the Oscars. Yeah.
Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
Yeah.
So Andra definitely has a path. She won a Globe. I'm sorry. No, it's not the best path, but she won a Globe. Sorry.
Yeah, and look at the last 10 years. Every single Best Actress winner at the Globe in the drama category, I mean, 8 out of the 10 went on to win it. And then there's 2 in the comedy as well. So you can't discount it. So you can't discount her out of the race. She is definitely a contender at this point. So yes, cool. All right, my friend, shall we move on to Best Supporting Actor?
Definitely.
Let's do it. All right, so in Best Supporting Actor, we've got Sacha Baron Cohen for Trial of Chicago 7, Daniel Kaluuya for Judas and the Black Messiah, Leslie Odom Jr. for One Night in Miami, Paul Raci for Sound of Metal, and Lakeith Stanfield for Judas and the Black Messiah. What are your thoughts, my friend, on this category?
This award is already being engraved to one Daniel Kaluuya, who should, by the way, have his second or third Oscar by now, because he should have won for Get Out. He also, I want to make this very clear. He should have won for Get Out. He should have won everywhere for Get Out. Thank you. Yeah, this feels very clear to me that this is Daniel Kaluuya. I'm so happy that Paul Raci got in here. I was so nervous.
Yeah.
He only got BAFTA and Critics' Choice. And I was like, if this mother doesn't get into this Oscars, I'm going to throw a damn hissy fit. Because his performance is so beautiful and subtle. It's just so freaking magical. He stole the movie from me. Like, Riz is great. Paul Raci's so good. He's probably my number 2 if like personal preference.
Right.
This is a really good category. It's really strong. Lakeith getting in made no sense, not because of his performance. Like, I watched Judas and the Black Messiah and I said, oh yeah, this man should be nominated for an Oscar. But the fact that they campaigned him for lead and then got votes for supporting, I said, well, that just doesn't make sense. Thrilled? What?
Who are they supporting? These 2 titular characters. Who are they supporting?
Yeah, I'm so happy for him. Yeah, great category. I really, really like it, but it's Daniel Kaluuya all the way. He should be winning. He should be winning this Oscar, let me say. He should be. He's the right choice.
I think so too. I freaking love Daniel Kaluuya. He's one of the most he's one of the most exciting young actors of his generation, and just everything he does is just magical. Like, he is such a tour de force in Judas and the Black Messiah. And I agree. I think he's going to win. I think he deserves to win. He's the one I want to see win as well. And I'm just happy for everyone else in this category. It's a solid category. Like Lakeith as well. That was a bit of it was a spanner in the works for sure. But I was always saying in my review of Judas and the Black Messiah, like, I know Daniel Kaluuya is getting all the attention, but Lakeith Stanfield deserves to be acknowledged as well, because if anything, it's a much harder role as well, having to be duplicitous and, convey so much nuance, being torn in different directions and do it without dialogue. And I loved that about him. And I'm so glad he's getting acknowledged now. Even if it might be category fraud, he's not in the right place. But the fact that he's here, I'm not too sad about it. So it's just like he's got the nom. So
if Viola Davis can be lead for Ma Rainey, then he can be supporting for Judas and the Black Messiah. And if Olivia Colman can win for lead, then Lakeith Stanfield can be nominated for supporting.
Exactly. There's always like gray area as well in terms of like, I mean, if you actually look at this category, arguably the only person that's a true supporting player is Paul Raci. Like everyone else is sort of a lead in a sense. Like even like Sacha Baron Cohen and Leslie Odom Jr. Like even though those are ensemble films, they're all kind of like leads in a sense. So yeah, arguably Paul Raci's the only one legitimately in the right category here. But
I'm not everyone else. I'm thrilled.
Yeah, it's all good. Was there anyone you were upset, snubbed that didn't get into this one?
My heart was saying, oh, maybe Alan S. Kim can get in for Minari.
Oh, yes. Yeah,
I would have
that would have been a huge surprise.
I knew it wasn't going to happen, but like, you know, there was that little part of me that was like, maybe. I mean, besides the other Jensen One Night in Miami, I don't think so. Actually, instead of Sacha Baron Cohen, I probably would have voted for either Yaya.
Yeah.
No disrespect to Sacha, I think he's brilliant. Yaya, Mark Rylance. I probably would have put both of them if we're going supporting because they put everyone in supporting. I would have put Mark Rylance and Yaya ahead of Sacha.
Okay, that's fair. Like I feel like Sacha Baron Cohen for me was the standout performance, so I get why he was, nominated, and he's also had a good year.
I think he was great.
Yeah, but there was so many great supporting performances in that. So I could have seen an outcome where Rylance was in here, or Frank Langella, or Yaya. Sadly, Yaya just didn't have the momentum this year. It's a real shame. Do you have any thoughts on the fact that Chadwick didn't get the double nomination for supporting and Best Actor?
A lot of people had him getting in for Five Bloods, and I never understood it. I think he's wonderful.
I had him, yeah.
I think he's great in Five Bloods. But of every single person in Five Bloods, I would have had every other person ahead of him.
Exactly.
No offense to Chadwick Boseman. I don't think there was a month, because I do my predictions every single month, like the first day of the month, where I had him in my 5. It didn't make sense to me. I was like, Jonathan Majors should be there ahead of Chadwick. And again, I have no disrespect for Chadwick. I think he's like truly one of the best actors, and him one of the saddest things. But his performance didn't scream, oh, this is the Oscar nominated performance. I thought Netflix would really, really go for Delroy, but I didn't expect him. I actually really didn't expect Chadwick to get in for supporting.
I had him at my 5th spot. It was a performance though that I didn't feel needed to be acknowledged, and it was, like you said, probably my least favorite supporting performance in The Five Bloods. Like he's great in it. Like it's a really good performance. There's just other performances that I preferred, like Isaiah Whitlock Jr.
Role.
Exactly, and it just felt like because of his untimely passing, that people were just like, "Oh, we have to acknowledge him for every performance this year," and it's just like, no, you don't. Like he's pretty much like a lock now to win Best Actor. And as much as it would be nice to have seen him get the double nom, do a Scarlett Johansson this year, he's going to be most likely the winner for Best Actor. And that's, cementing the legacy itself. And I don't think he needs to take up a 5th spot in the supporting category when it's not really justified. Like, as much as I love him and I want to see his legacy honored, I feel him being honored in Best Actor is enough to do that. So,
definitely.
Yeah, it doesn't need to take up an extra... a slot that can go to a more deserving supporting performance of the year. So, yeah, that's where I sort of stand on it. And the other question I wanted to ask about this one, mate, is...
I'm ready.
Some people asked me this as soon as it happened. Do you think Lakeith Stanfield being nominated is going to damage... Yeah, or hinder Daniel Kaluuya's chances of winning?
Daniel Kaluuya is winning the Oscar.
That's how I said the same thing. We've had like double nominees in this category before with Rockwell and Woody Harrelson, and Rockwell went on to win it. So doesn't mean because you're
in category. Not worried at all.
Yeah.
At all. This will be just one of out there, happy for every single person in this category to win. I'd be really happy. This is a really beautiful category.
Yeah, it's strong. Yeah. And again, it's diverse. It's a nice step forward.
9 out of 20, I think, were people of color, which is great.
Fantastic. That's like, great. Yeah, essentially half, which is a wonderful step forward. Shall we move on to Best Supporting Actress? Yes, my favorite of all the categories this year, not just acting, but yeah, all the categories. So Best Supporting Actress this year, we have Maria Bakalova for Borat's subsequent movie film, Glenn Close for Hillbilly Elegy, Olivia Colman for The Father, Amanda Seyfried for Mank, and Yoo Jung-yoon for Minari. My friend, the floor is yours. What do you think of this amazing category?
I have so many thoughts about this category.
Hit me.
Besides animated feature and score, because in case anyone doesn't know, my favorite movie of the year is Soul. I'm obsessed with Pixar, and animation is my favorite pastime, genre, everything. I love animation, and Pixar is my favorite studio. So besides those two categories, I don't think I have felt this passionately about an acting category in a very long time. If Maria Bakalova doesn't win this Oscar, I will lose my mind. I can't put into words how freaking brilliant her performance was. And something that I keep throwing on people need to start treating comedic performances on the same tier as dramatic. And no one does. And it drives me freaking crazy. Melissa McCarthy should have won an Oscar for Bridesmaids. She should have. That is one of the greatest acting, not comedic, acting performances I've ever seen in my life. I have never laughed so hard in my life watching her. Maria Bakalova did the same thing that Sacha Baron Cohen did for the first Borat. Absolute comedic genius. Absolute acting masterwork. She's so freaking good in this. By galaxies, she should be winning this category. Galaxies. She's so good. I get really angry because I'm so scared it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Granted, she's the only one who has all 4 nominations.
Yep.
And the only one technically with a win, if I'm looking at this actually. Maria Bakalova needs to win this Oscar. I think it's actually the one I care the most about now that I'm really talking about it. She needs to win this Oscar. She needs to. I can talk more about the other nominees, but Maria Bakalova needs to win this freaking Oscar for me.
I'm just loving the passion that's coming out of you, mate. It's infectious. Oh, God. And I love it.
I really love her. She's so damn good in that movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. First ever Bulgarian actor-actress to be nominated as well, the Oscars. Crazy, eh?
Momentum. She's either going to not get nominated or she's going to win. Now that she's nominated, I'm done. She's winning. I don't care if she loses SAG. I'm going for it.
I always thought the Oscar nomination itself was the biggest hurdle. I was like, definitely. If she, it's just one of those performances where are the Academy going to get behind it? Can they like something like that?
Right.
And I was so nervous for it. And I was so elated when she made the cut because she was the one I was just like, she's got every single nomination there's been. She's the only one to have done that. So but I can just see the Academy
it's such
being
an Oscar move to not nominate her. Right.
Yeah, and like you said, there's so much genre bias in the awards sector anyways, and comedic performances and horror performances just don't get the same acknowledgement or love as they deserve. And there was an outcome where I saw Maria Bakalova being the big snub, the one that just sends everyone off, but I was just like, thank God she made the cut.
I would have broken the chair. If she wasn't, I would have thrown something.
She's there now. So she's got past the biggest hurdle, in my opinion. Winning it is another question because this category, it's so exciting because I genuinely don't have a clue. Every person I speak to has a different opinion on who it's going to be. Everyone makes really good arguments as well as to why it should be someone. The only person that's not really in the conversation is Amanda Seyfried, and I'm glad she's here. I loved her performance in Mank. I just don't see her getting the Oscar. I can't without the SAG nom, and she didn't win the Globes. So I just don't think she has the momentum. I think her being nominated is a win in itself. But yeah, argument for Yoo Jung-yoon, Olivia Colman, Glenn Close, and Maria Bakalova. And I could honestly see it going to any one of those four, really. And I don't know. I really don't know. That's the joy of this race, is just not knowing who it's going to be. My personal favorites are Yoo Jung-yoon and Olivia Colman. Those two are my personal favorites of the best of this category. Yeah, and I do love Maria Bakalova, but she just personally wasn't as high for me as Olivia and Yoo Jung-yoon. And could we have a year? Could we see Olivia Colman doing a Mahershala Ali or Christoph Waltz and doing back-to-back wins? It's certainly possible.
I will have the biggest gagged face if Olivia Colman wins this. Just only because Glenn is nominated. Otherwise, it's like, oh, great, absolutely. If she beats Glenn Close again, that would be insane.
And now history repeating itself, and so quickly as well from the previous time as well. I mean, that's a good story as well. Like Olivia Colman beating 8-time nominee Glenn Close again. And I could see that totally happening. I could see Glenn Close winning it just on here's your career Oscar award, just because it's your time. Right. I don't think it's Glenn Close's best performance. I think she's good in Hillbilly Elegy. I just don't think it's anything like in the top tier of Glenn Close performances. No. But I can totally see the Academy just like, it's her time. Come on, people. Like she's put in the work. Let's just acknowledge her. And I don't want to see her win for this role, but I mean, a lot of actors.
I'd rather see her win for this role than nothing.
Yeah, either give us something now, or she might not never win ever again. So,
right.
Yeah, and then Yoo Jung-yoon, first ever South Korean actress to be nominated for an Academy Award. That is just mind blowing. But also, I just loved her performance in Minari so much. It's just like, I was just smitten watching her. This is such a tender, touching role, and just so beautifully performed as well. Like she's kind of the heart of that film, I think.
When she got nominated, it kind of felt like justice for Zhao Shushan.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of similar roles, aren't they?
I was big time Team Zhao Shushan. I wanted her to get nominated. I wanted her to win, except for Scarlett Johansson in Jojo Rabbit. I was all about her. But it kind of felt like justice, like the grandma figure. It was very, I don't know, it was nice. And also, yes, if she won, I'd be so happy. Anything Minari picks up, I will be very happy.
Glenn Close has the narrative. She has the Glenn Close narrative, as I like to call it, the close but no cigar narrative.
But
and I'll be here all weekend, take you waitresses. Yeah. But also, she also got the Razzie nomination as well for the same role. It's just like...
I pay no attention to the Razzies because I just don't see the point of dumping on people. That's just not how I go about life. And I'm like, what? This is pointless. Why are you doing things? Anyway, continue.
If there's a year for any, for something to change it up a little bit, let's make it this year. Pandemic year. Let's have a comedic performance win. That would it'd be so exciting as well. And also, it would help repave the way for more comedic performances as well. So that would just be awesome. That would be a lovely little fairy tale ending for Maria Bakalova if that did happen.
Yeah. I want to see it. I really want it to happen.
Absolutely. That's a good question for the people. Let us know in the comment section down below who you think is going to win Best Supporting Actress, because it's anyone's guess at this point. It is.
Yeah.
It's so wide open, so hard to call, and that's what makes it so much fun as well.
I love it.
God, I love it. Shall we move on now to Best Adapted Screenplay?
Definitely.
Let's do it. All right, so in this category we have Borat Subsequent Movie Film, The Father, Nomadland, One Night in Miami, and The White Tiger. Thoughts on this category, mate?
So I made the mistake last month of saying that Nomadland wasn't nominated for WGA, therefore it's not going to be my winner, and then my lovely subscriber said, actually, it wasn't eligible. And I said, you're absolutely right. I had a brain fart. So if anyone's watching this who is also subscribed to my channel, you were right. I had a brain fart. Anyway, Nomadland. Nomadland is going to win, even though Borat just won last night. If it's not Nomadland, I don't know. I really don't. It has Globe, it has BAFTA, it has USC, it has CCA, it has Critics' Choice. It won USC. It won Critics' Choice. The only other thing that's like won is Borat. But I have to think if Nomadland was eligible, it would have won. So that's where I'm at. I think it's Nomadland. And if it's not Nomadland, I think One Night in Miami or Borat.
No, I think you and I are seeing eye to eye as well. Even though Borat did win the Writers Guild Awards, I just see Nomadland being more credible at the Oscars. Also, Nomadland's in Best Picture and Borat isn't. So, I mean, there's not 100% correlation or whatever, but, you know, usually, like, screenplay does play a part in Best Picture as well. So I can definitely see Nomadland winning this. And I know some people are a bit confused by it because Nomadland's not really a talky film. Like, it's not like, you know, it's a film where a lot of the scenery does a lot of the talking. But at the same time, you know, I do really appreciate the writing of it. So I can see Chloe Zhao just being the hot ticket that night and being the winner in Best Director and screenplay, potentially editing as well. Yeah, exactly. Or Alfonso Cuarón back for Roma as well. She's probably going to be the biggest winner of the night. Was there any films that you wanted to see in this category that didn't make it in?
Ma Rainey.
Yeah. I had Ma Rainey in my predictions and it didn't get in. So
I think a lot of people did.
Yeah.
White Tiger was the big surprise. Ma Rainey was in my top 10 movies of the year. It's August Wilson, and that text is just some of the best on the planet. And I think it was really, really, really well adapted, and it missing is really mind-boggling to me.
Yeah, that was the main one that I had down that I was surprised. So yeah, I also think Nomadland is probably going to win this currently, and I'll be happy seeing it win, although I also don't mind if One Night in Miami won, or even The Father. I really liked that screenplay, but I don't think it will win, but I'd be happy to see it win. But my money is currently on Nomadland with maybe Borat or One Night in Miami, surprising.
I think Borat would actually be, that and White Tiger would be the two bigger surprises.
Throw us a curveball every now and then. It's exciting when that shit happens.
Also, give us a comedy win. Give a comedy win.
Yes, Bunny. All right then, mate. Shall we move on to Best Original Screenplay?
Definitely.
Let's do it. All right. So this year we have Judas and the Black Messiah, Minari, Promising Young Woman, Sound of Metal, and Trial of Chicago 7. What are your thoughts, my friend, on Best Original Screenplay?
They nailed it this year.
Yeah.
I have one snub that we'll get to in a minute, but I think it's between, Promising Young Woman and Chicago 7. Chicago 7 desperately needed to win last night. Was it last night?
It was last night, yeah.
They needed to win that. Sorkin needed that in order to stay in for anything. And Promising Young Woman winning was huge. It's either Promising Young Woman or Chicago 7. You can't go wrong. I think they're both fantastic screenplays. I'm obviously team Promising Young Woman. I also think that's my choice right now. I think it's going to win. I think it has that momentum. I think having a director nom is also huge. Also, if both Chloe Zhao and Emerald Fennell win, they will become the first. It'll be the first time ever that two women have won both screenplay categories.
Both screenplays. It won't be the first time ever. We did have women win in 2004.
Sorry, for the edition of picture and director.
Ah, right. Okay, there you go. Sorry, my bad.
I didn't add that part. Yeah. No, you're right. So Promising Young Woman is my number one choice. Number 2 is Chicago 7. I'd be really happy with pretty much all of these up, though.
That's a strong lineup. Like, there's not a foot out of place there. And as someone who appreciated the craft of Mank, but it didn't get nominated for screenplay, I wasn't that upset about it, even though I think it would have been nice for Jack Fincher to get a nomination as a posthumous nod for career and all that. Totally. But I wasn't upset about it because I was just like, the thing I disliked the most about Mank was the story, because I just wasn't engaged with it. I found it quite hard to, click with it. Personally, I wasn't upset that it got snubbed. It was the surprise snub. I did think it was going to be in here, but I'm not overly upset about it. If that makes sense. And I also agree it's a two-way race between Promising Young Woman and Trial. And I'm also on team Promising Young Woman. I adore that film. I gush over it. And with her win at the Writers Guild Awards, it's definitely made me reevaluate now who I think is going to win. So as much as I think Aaron Sorkin is deserving, I'd be so happy to see Emerald Fennell win for Promising Young Woman. And there's definitely a shot of it now as well. Like, she's just...
That was huge. That was huge.
It was a big deal, yeah. Because she also won at the Critics' Choice Award, didn't she? So there's a path for her to definitely...
getting so much, more than any film besides Nomadland, it has the most momentum going for it, like, in all categories. Like,
yeah,
Nomadland's
going to get to that.
So, like, it's whatever. Promising Young Woman is the one that has the second most momentum.
Yeah, I'd agree. Yeah, I will talk about it a bit more when we get to the Best Picture, but yeah, I definitely agree with what you're saying there, with momentum and all that. So any final thoughts on this category before we move on?
Yeah, because I have a snub.
Yes, go for it.
Well, you all know me.
I was going to say, is it Soul? Yes.
It is absolutely Soul.
Yeah.
I think the script is so damn good. I know some people it didn't mesh with some people, but I think it is so good. And honestly, I would take Chicago 7 and replace it with that.
Yeah.
I think the script is so good in Chicago 7. I think Sorkin is one of the greatest writers ever. Ever. He's one of the greatest screenwriters, TV writers ever. I would take out either Sound of Metal, but first Chicago 7, and replace it with Soul. I love all 5 of these nominees. The screenplays in all 5 of these are freaking amazing.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're all literally Best Picture contenders as well. I actually had Soul in my predictions because Pixar do have a pretty decent track record with screenplays.
Exactly.
So I thought it might just show up here. And it would have been so cool to have Kemp Powers nominated in both screenplay categories. That would have just been a lovely little Christmas come early moment as well. But yeah, I had it in my predictions thinking it might be out Sound of Metal. But yeah, the snub... It was a little bit expected, but at the same time, it was like, oh, there's a bit of a shame. All right, my friend, shall we move on to Best Director?
Yeah.
Here we go. So in this category, we have Thomas Vinterberg for Another Round, David Fincher for Mank, Lee Isaac Chung for Minari, Chloe Zhao for Nomadland, and Emerald Fennell for Promising Young Woman. Max, you have the floor. Thoughts on this category?
This feels very, very, very easy to me. Chloe Zhao is winning this award, and I don't... Oh, God, yeah. I mean, okay, if I'm correct, Chloe Zhao has won 46 awards so far. The next up, who's won the most, Regina King with 3. Spike Lee also has 3. I'm pretty sure I'm correct. When it's numbers like that, it's almost not... I don't want to say dumb, that's not a nice word. It is almost not wise to not say, okay, this person's clearly winning. And also, she's gotten in for everything. She's won everything. It's Chloe Zhao. This is Chloe Zhao. Whether or not it wins picture, we'll talk about in a minute. But Chloe Zhao, whether or not she actually wins, I think you'd have to be very bold to not have her winning director. That feels very bold to me.
Absolutely. This is like one of the few categories where I'm like, this is the smart money. This is the lock. Like, it's so early to say locks, but come on, people, the numbers speak for themselves. Like, the math is there. So it's just like, if all precursors mean anything, yes, it's definitely hers. Like,
if she wins the DGA, which is sometimes like April 10th or something.
Yeah, April 10th.
Assuming she wins that, it's done. It's done.
Yeah.
And if she didn't win, if she won the Globe, DGA, and I assume she'll win BAFTA and Critics' Choice, and somehow didn't win the Oscar, that would actually be one of the greatest upsets in the history of the Oscars.
People would riot if Chloe Zhao didn't win. Like, it's like, we've been waiting for a second female director to win, and this feels like the time. It's her time. So, oh my God, if she did not win at the Oscars, the internet would explode. Yeah, we just would not be having it.
It just would be shocking. Emerald Fennell is actually number 1, to be clear, of these 5.
Nice. My
number 2, and this is just personal preference, my number 2 is probably Lee Isaac Chung.
Nice. Cool.
It's Chloe Zhao. I mean, there's no denying this. This is hers, and it's similar to Daniel Kaluuya and Chadwick. It's already engraved. It would be
Yeah.
so freaking unbelievably shocking if it lost.
They might as well just like send it to her in the post now, like just already
Right.
engraved.
Already recorded her like acceptance speech if the
Exactly.
internet cuts out. Like it's done.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, as far as the nominees go for this category, I was very happy with it. Like, it's just a fantastic selection. I mean, there was certainly directors who I'd have liked to also seen in here, like Regina King or Spike Lee or even Shaka King. But yeah, Thomas Vinterberg showing up here was just, I didn't even have him in my alternates in my predictions. I just thought, yeah, like, as much as I would love to see him because it was my favorite film of 2020, right. I love the direction of that film. I was blindsided when he was announced, and that was just the best little surprise. That and Lakeith Stanfield were the two biggest surprises for me. I'm so happy he's here. I'm also like you. I would personally actually prefer to see Emerald Fennell win. Like, that's just my favorite movie period this year.
Yeah.
But I'm so happy with Chloe Zhao. It's deserving. Like, it's hers, and I'm 100% fine with that. It's just a personal preference in terms of like the movie and the style direction. I'd love to see Emerald Fennell win. And I'm also British, so I'm a little bit biased. I honestly wouldn't mind if it went to either Chloe Zhao or Emerald Fennell. But yeah, it's going to be Chloe Zhao. Yeah.
It would be shocking if it was anyone else. My only like snubs, even though this isn't a snub, Eliza Hittman for Never Rarely, Sometimes, Always. Definitely Regina King and Shaka King for Judas. And yes, Peak Doctor and Kemp Powers.
No, that's fair. Any more final thoughts on Best Director, my friend, other than hooray for two women and how awesome it is?
Yeah, it's going to Chloe Zhao. It's done.
Period. All right, we're moving on, mates, to the Cadillac of categories. So last one for you guys, folks. We're talking about Best Picture. This year is the last year of the sliding scale with the nominees. So they could have anywhere between 5 and 10 this year. They decided to go with 8, which was surprising. I was predicting 9, but they went with 8. And the 8 that they went with this year are The Father, Judas and the Black Messiah, Mank, Minari, Nomadland, Promising Young Woman, Sound of Metal, and Trial of the Chicago 7. Max, what do you think of Best Picture this year?
Exhausted. This is actually really tricky because I think the top 2 are both winning screenplay. I think Nomadland is winning adapted, and I think Promising Young Woman is going to win original. Chloe's going to win director. I will say this. If somehow Emerald Fennell wins director, I think that Promising Young Woman might actually win. But I don't think that's going to happen. Not that you have to win director in order to win Best Picture, but it obviously helps. I'm sticking with Nomadland just because it seems like the obvious smart choice. I mean, it has, I think, 36 wins so far. Next up is probably something with like 10. It's gotten in freaking everywhere. That and Chicago 7 are the only one who's gotten in for Globe, BAFTA, PGA, and Critics' Choice. Yeah, those are the only 2. That's where I'm at. I think it's going to be Nomadland. I feel like PGA is going to tell us whether or not that's true. I think if it wins PGA, it's going to win. Because it obviously didn't get SAG because it wouldn't have made sense to me if they got a SAG nomination for ensemble. Nomadland's an ensemble film, really. It's kind of like Chloe Zhao in a way. It's like, how do you not predict that? Because it's won everything. And it's gotten in everywhere it needs to, aside from SAG, but again, wouldn't have made sense if it got in. There are 4 films that are fighting for it. Nomadland, Promising Young Woman, Minari, Chicago 7.
That's the 4 I was going to say. Well done. Yes.
Those are my 4 in that order right now.
Cool.
Followed by Mank, Judas, Sound of Metal, The Father. Okay. That 5 through 8 is probably going to mix up a little bit. Yeah. But it's hard not to predict Nomadland because it's won everything.
It's like Chloe Zhao. The numbers speak for themselves.
Right.
But there's a part of me that thinks, well, there was a part of me that thought this a few weeks ago. Is Nomadland going to peak too soon? I thought maybe it might not win at the Golden Globes. I thought maybe Promising Young Woman might surprise there. And no, it still won there.
Right.
And I was like, okay, there's still love. There's still momentum for it. And I can definitely see it winning for sure. Like, it's still my number 1 at the moment. Again, it goes Nomadland, then Promising Young Woman, then Minari, then Travis Chicago 7 for me.
Yeah,
Was that your order? I can't...
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
We're on the same page. We're on the same page.
What you did. Sorry, great minds think alike. Yeah.
Absolutely.
This is why we'd be friends in real life if we lived in the same country.
Oh my gosh, yes. If I come to London, we're going to hang.
And one day, when I come to the New York Film Festival, we'll hang. Anyway, so
yes.
With Nomadland, though, there is an argument to be made that because it's a bit... Not everyone I know loves it. It's one of those films where I'm worried with how some people have seen it, like through screeners and like watching on laptops and TVs at home. They're not getting the full Nomadland experience like they would get in a cinema. I was lucky enough to see it in the cinema, and I was just like allured by it, and I get why, you know, people adore this film. And some people are saying they just didn't get that same experience from watching it on a laptop or a TV at home, and I can understand that. And it's also a kind of slow film. It's lazy. It's very laid back and chilled, and not everybody likes that. It's not a film that I think is 100% like a guarantee for a preferential ballot, because yeah, it's a film I can see a lot of people scoring at number one, but I could also see some groups ranking it on the lower end of the ballot. So on a preferential ballot, I could see a film like Minari doing really well here because it's such a crowd pleaser, and I could see Trial doing well here because generally it's liked. I wasn't the biggest fan of it.
Doing really well.
Yeah, and Promising Young Woman has the momentum. It also has a lot of what it needs to win in order to win Best Director, along with, sorry, not Best Director, Best Picture, along with Nomadland. They both have acting nominations, they have directing nominations, and they have editing nominations. Those are sort of like key to Best Picture winners. But with Promising Young Woman, it's also, obviously, we both love the film, right, but it is a little bit divisive. Some people found it too provocative. Some people didn't like the ending. I loved the ending. I thought the ending was absolutely perfect. But some people just didn't like the ending. Like some people are just really stubborn and set on like, the ending didn't work for me. So again, that's another film that I can see a lot of people voting for one, but could also be low down. So I actually think Minari and Travis Chicago 7 are the more crowd-pleasing ones that might have a better chance in a preferential ballot. But Nomadland is Nomadland. And it's just won so much. And I don't know, it could peak before the Oscars, but I don't know. I just think the evidence speaks for itself in the numbers and stuff. And but is it, I mean, the Producers Guild Awards will give us a good indication of which way it's going to go on Oscar night, because, you know, there's a lot of overlap with the Producers Guild Awards and the Oscars. So, yeah, I want to say it's Nomadland at the moment, but I'm not locked in on that prediction yet. I can see it. I can see me changing my mind over the coming weeks. But it is an exciting race. I feel like I'm rambling, mate.
No. It's between 4 movies right now. I don't think that there's really anything else, unless Mank somehow cleans up house and gets all of those tech categories. And the only way Mank wins is if it wins like 8 Oscars.
Yeah. And Mank missed the screenplay.
It might still win like 8 Oscars, but I think it needs to get director, which I would be pretty damn shocked to see happen.
Yeah.
And that is one of the only cases where I can see like director having a huge impact on picture. He needs director in order to win picture, but I just don't think that's going to happen. It's Nomadland. I don't love basing my vote on numbers. Like I changed my vote last year to Parasite like 2 days before the Oscars because I said I just want it to win.
Me too.
I kept Soul in my 10 this year, full knowing it wasn't going to get in. But I said, I don't care. I'm happy to miss the vote. I just wanted it in. But with these numbers, it is really hard to vote for anything that isn't the thing that's winning by 20, 30 wins. It's like foolish almost. Like, good for you. Go for it. I would personally much rather see Promising Young Woman or Minari win.
Ditto.
I didn't even love Nomadland. I think it's a perfectly fine film. I think it's fine. I think the cinematography, that's the one that I'm like, absolutely, give it the Oscar. Joshua James Richards, absolutely. I think it's a good film. I don't think it's the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life by any means. Yeah. I'm thrilled about it, but there are 4 or 5 other films that I would rather see win than Nomadland.
That's me too. Like I'm happy for Nomadland to win it. I just have films I love more, and I'd love to see a win over it. Like Minari would be wonderful.
So cool.
Film. Oh, it just makes me all warm inside. I absolutely adore that film. And like, some people were saying like, well, Minari can't win this year because we had Parasite win yet last year. We can't have 2 Korean films win back to back. I'm like, oh my God, it's illogical to think that way, because the films are completely different. The only thing they have in common is that they have Korean actors in them. And and that's it. It's just like, it's ridiculous in my mind. It's so narrow-minded as well to say that it can't win because it's too similar.
If anything, it helps.
Yeah, if it won, it would prove that Parasite winning last year wasn't a fluke, and that would just be like, oh, we are celebrating diverse films more now, which is great, and I would love to see it win. I think all 4 of the top 4 contenders do have something to say in terms of like what's going on in the world right now, and like they do sort of make a statement as well. And I think a film like Promising Young Woman winning starts a conversation. More people would definitely want to talk about the issues that it addresses, and it's such a good movie. It's so entertaining, but it has something to say as well, which is like what makes it doubly awesome. It's why I was so happy when Parasite won, because it was such a fucking awesome movie, but it has so much to say. All right, my friend, do you have any more closing thoughts on Best Picture?
Besides my snubs, which is, of course, Soul, Never Really, Sometimes, Always, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, One Night in Miami. Yeah, that's it.
For me, I want to see Promising Young Woman or Minari win, and I'm predicting Nomadland. Similar for you?
Yeah. But Nomadland is definitely my number 1. That just makes the most sense.
Anything else you want to say on the Oscars in general this day?
Not about the Oscars, no. I'm excited to see what's going to happen. And it's always a fun time to celebrate movies, because that's why I love movies and the Oscars and these award ceremonies, is because we get to celebrate films.
I'm very excited to see what happens. I'm thinking there will be some topsy-turvy surprises this year. If there's any year for it, it's probably this year. But yeah, please do let us know in the comment section below your thoughts, predictions, theories on who's going to win. I just want to say a big thank you for my guest, Max Joseph, for joining me. It was an absolute pleasure, mate. You are a wonderful guest, really lovely chap. And if you guys aren't following Max's YouTube channel, what is wrong with you? Go to the video description right now and subscribe to his channel. He does wonderful Oscars-related content and movie reviews. Also follow him. Social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Letterboxd, it's all down there. Give him some love, give him some follows. And yeah, thank you so much again for joining us, mate. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you so much for having me. This was such a delight. It's always fun to talk Oscars. You're amazing. This was so fun. Thank you for having me. I'm so honored that you asked.
Oh, I'm great. I'm grateful, mate. It's just nice to have another YouTuber friend who just gets it and adores it as much. Even if you're across the pond in America, it's lovely to converse with you. And hopefully we can do it again sometime as well.
Yes, absolutely. Come on my channel and we can talk stuff.
Absolutely. All right. Take care, mate. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
Thanks very much, guys. Happy Oscars. And yes, see you next time.